In this video, we're going to talk about some of the basic knives and some of the parts of the knives. First of all, let's just talk about these weapons we have here. As you'll notice, some of the weapons are not necessarily knives, but the things that we're going to learn in the next videos will cover how to use these as a weapon. A pencil, for example, when we write with it. A lot of the techniques that we use can also apply to this, showing you the effectiveness of learning these skills and how it can be applied to other things around the house, around the office, wherever you're at. So, pencil, for example, and then pens also can be applied, these same principles. Here we have a letter opener. Many offices have letter openers. They're actually very lethal. It has the point, not very sharp blade or edge, but it's very, very effective. Screwdriver also extremely effective for those strikes. Can also be effective with slashes. Scissors, obviously very effective. Many people have been cut by scissors. I know I have when I was little. But yeah, very effective knife. Let's talk about the regular folding knife. This is a old-timer folding knife. It does not have a lock, either a liner lock or a back lock. This is the blade. The edge is usually the sharpened side. The spine is the unsharpened side, and the tip or point. We also have, you can see the 3 rivets that are used here with the lanyard ring on the back. The lanyard ring, we'll talk about that in another video, but basically you can use it to tie a rope around so you don't lose the knife. It goes around your wrist, for example, or also you can use it so that your hand doesn't slide up the knife as it's jabbing into something. So there's the old-timer knife. This is a fixed blade knife. This first knife is a fixed blade knife or a sheath knife. Now the basic parts of this knife are similar to most knives. For a fixed blade, you have the rivets in the handle here. On the end here we have the pommel. The blunt end can be used to striking. In this case it has a form of lanyard ring. The lanyard ring is to have a strap, so you can either connect that to your wrist or to other part of your body to not lose the knife, and also to help hold on to that knife as you strike. This knife has a small guard here. This back here is the spine of the knife. And this is the tip, or the point. This is the tip of the knife. This part here is the edge, and the entire part of this is the blade. And that is this fixed blade knife or sheath knife. This particular model has a full tang. You can see that the metal or material that makes up the blade goes through the full length of the handle. That is considered a full tang knife. Standard Leatherman type tool knife. This one is a locking one. It has the lock here. Slide the lock down to allow it to fold. Many people carry these on their belts. These two can be used as a very effective weapon. Here we have a lock blade. This blade is called an assisted blade. It has the thumb rivet here that as I bring the blade out, the spring will assist it to open. This blade has a very uncommon serrated blade right here. This also has the belt clip, and the lock is a liner lock. You can see here. As you slide the liner lock to the side, it allows the blade to then close back up. A assisted lock blade is what that's referred to as. And this knife is a full auto knife.
This blade here is a full auto, meaning you don't have to use anything to open the blade. I take it off safety, push the button, and the blade is extended. This blade is what's referred to as a Tonto blade due to the shape here. It also has a very common serrated edge here. Also has a more pronounced guard. The pommel has a little more shape to it for better striking, along with a little more precise lanyard ring.
Another folding knife, just a very simple small knife. Even though it's small, it can be very effective. Cuts. This is a common knife called a butterfly knife. The butterfly knife completely encases itself in the handle. With proper training, we can learn how to use this more effectively. It still has the same components of the knife. You have the tip, the spine, the blade. You also have the guard and the handle. Okay, here we have a utility knife. We actually have two. This one's a standard utility knife. Slides in, blade slides in like that. This is the folding utility knife. It also has a lock back. Push that in or collapse the blade, fold the blade in. These are two hunting knives. Full tang, you can see that the metal goes all the way through it. Lanyard ring. This one has this hook on the end that helps when you're skinning and gutting animals after hunting. Here's a standard liner lock. Not assisted, so you must do the full length to open it.
This knife here, this is a K-bar knife, common knife. People are very fond of it. Now this knife, we see the pommel, the guard, that's here, the rasco here, which is where it becomes flat before it connects to the handle. And this one also has what's commonly referred to as a blood groove. Now that's not really a blood groove, that's a fuller. The theory is that this blood groove would allow to prevent the suction of the body as it enters the body or a part of the body. In reality, this is a fuller. It helps strengthen the blade and make the blade lighter.
Here's a lock blade. You must press that in order to collapse the blade. And then here we have some training knives. This is obviously a homemade training knife, someone made.
This is a special type of plastic training knife. It mimics the K-bar knife. Pommel, lanyard ring, guard, rasco, spine, tip or point, tip of the blade or edge here, and along with a mimicked fuller here. This we'll be using in our future videos to help as we train with the knife.
The next thing I want to talk about is balance. When throwing knives, you really want to worry about that balance. Make sure it's balanced properly so that you get the proper spin if you're throwing it in a spin style, or to not get a spin if you're not throwing it in a spin style. So that balance is very important when releasing the knife. It also helps a lot when you're controlling the knife to have the proper balance in the knife. We already talked about the tang, so very important concepts, terms. The knives, all these knives, except for these two, are made out of metal, different types of metal. Most of them are made out of steel, but a knife can be made out of other metals. Also can be made out of plastic. It's very effective for training, or wood also for training. Some of the first knives that were made out of stone, and flint. Another common material was bone. have that sharp edge, allowing them to use it as a knife, as a weapon. Well, we covered some of the basic parts of the knife. We covered some of the different types of knives, what they look like, and some of the terms that are important. We talked about the blood group, the fuller, the pommel, the blunt end. We talked about the lanyard ring, or lanyard hole. We talked about the blade, edge, tip, and the spine, the guard, handle. We talked about the different types of locking. You have the lock back. The lock is on the back. We have the liner lock. The lock is on the inside. And we talked about tool knives, butterfly knives, utility knives, and how just about anything in your house can be used as a weapon. Common tools like screwdriver we showed earlier can be used as a knife, or the techniques we learn when we learn the knife can be utilized there as well. Not only is it important for you to know how to use these to defend yourself, but it's also important to learn how to use your body, or how to defend against one of these. An attacker may come at you with a screwdriver. The techniques that we learn for the knife can be used very effectively in defending against their screwdriver, or a pencil, or a pen. Maybe someone comes at you with a knife, and all you have is a pen, or your sunglasses, or something else in the world around you. That is the primary reason that it is so important to learn how to use and defend against knives.